Kenneth Melson, the acting director of the ATF, is refusing to step down, saying he doesn't want to be the fall guy for Operation Fast and Furious, in which the ATF, as I'm sure you know, allowed guns to be purchased in Arizona and then walked across the border to Mexico, where they ended up in the hands of drug cartels. Representative Darrell Issa has been leading an investigation of the ATF and the Department of Justice, demanding full accountability for the operation and seeking assurances that whistleblowers will not be punished. Special Agent Vincent Sheffield is one such whistleblower, and yesterday he was told he is being fired. Tonight, he talks exclusively to Scoreboard. Vince, you come highly recommended by Jay Dobbins, a friend of Scoreboard, another ATF guy who says that you will stand in the path of a bullet for any good person. You're the kind of guy I think we should have as an agent at the ATF. Why do they want to fire you?
Well, I appreciate that. I really do. I want to give a shout out to your son and all the United States Marines serving overseas.
Thank you.
They're making an example out of me. It's that simple. They're giving a fair warning to anyone else who's going to come forward or may come forward and cooperate with Chairman Issa and Senator Grassley.
But let's just say specifically, let's spell out some of the things that you allege, and this may be one of the reasons they want to get rid of you. One, you say that ATF systematically gives false and perjured testimony to Congress and investigating agencies. That is one hell of a charge, Vince. Can you prove it?
Absolutely. We provided documentation on multiple occasions directly to Mr. Melson, to Billy Hoover, the deputy director, to our prior acting director, Michael Sullivan, and in fact to the Attorney General of the United States, Eric Holder, with no response, no investigation. We've gotten minimal replies, appeasing us, and no action ever taken.
All right. And by the way, the folks out there can view these charges that Vince makes and the supporting evidence in cleanupatf.org. That's cleanupatf.org. The second one is not a big surprise. Conceals widespread waste, fraud, and other unlawful conduct. I mean, frankly, we see that in every federal agency, right?
Well, absolutely. But it's more prominent in our situation because we're such a high-profile, necessary law enforcement agency. What we do absolutely matters day to day to the public safety. So it's more egregious when we do it than, say, some of the other agencies.
Right. It does stand out. And, of course, Operation Gunwalker or Fast and Furious is a perfect example of that. Did you see that coming, that operation? Did you try to warn anybody about it, or did you guys, even the agents, not know about it until it was too late?
If you look at the documentation we have provided to you and others, as well as members of Congress, Eric Holder, Kenneth Melson, we specifically laid out allegations of misconduct, gross mismanagement on the part of Ken Melson, executive staff in the headquarters, that would have led to the fact that Fast and Furious could not have happened if they would have acted on the earlier allegations.
Wow. And do you think that he should be the one to take the blame for this, or is there enough blame to go around?
Oh, I absolutely think there's enough blame to go around. At the end of the day, he's a director. Yeah. This notion that the absence of a permanent director is what causes, he is a director until somebody else is sitting in that chair, and so was Michael Sullivan.
Well,
he is, in fact,
how do you deal, Vince, though, in the long run, if this is as systemic a problem as you suggest it is, that is, it's not an isolated incident, but it's been happening all the time, do you just get rid of the ATF?
Absolutely not. And I want to be clear on that. Although I am being very specific, and dozens of other agents are being very specific about the abuses heaped upon the field and their unwillingness to listen to the field regarding investigative issues. We have a cadre of outstanding supervisors, leaders. Peter Forcelli is one such example who testified last week, but they're across the country. You can't throw out the baby with the bathwater. This is the result. These failed programs are the result of the leadership and nothing more, nothing less. We have people out there right now. We have agents right now as we're speaking getting in harm's way to do their job, and they're doing it night and day, and they don't ask for anything but the support of headquarters and the American people.
All right. By the way, the ATF has spoken about your charges concerning your own employment. They say ATF will not comment on specific ongoing personal matters. It is illegal to use disciplinary actions to retaliate against employees, and ATF does not engage in such improper reprisals. Very quick, Vince, your response.
My response is that it was brought up on a prior story about the reprisals I was suffering, specific to being sat in a cage with no duties to perform. I have sat there for 24 months, and they repeatedly have lied to the OSC, the OIG. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
All right, Vince Sheffield. Good to see you, Vince. Thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate it. Semper Fi to you.
Semper Fi to your son.
All right, thanks a lot.